She fed a homeless dragon. By morning, 20,000 soldiers were lined up for her cooking. The village of Dustmere had two things going for it: Dust and Marla Gibbons cooking. Her roadside shack, Marla's firepot, barely fit 6 people inside. But her stews? They were legendary. Smoky, spicy, so good they made grizzled miners weep into their bowls. But Dustmere was small, forgotten, and far from any major trade route. Marla didn't mind. She cooked, she sang, and she took care of her customers like they were her own kin. One night, long after she'd closed up, someone banged on the door. Marla wiped her hands on her apron and opened it, only to freeze. A massive, shivering creature hunched outside, 12 feet long from snout to tail, scales flaked with soot, eyes dim with hunger. A dragon, not a proud, fire-breathing monster like in the old stories, but one with scars, ribs showing, and smoke leaking weakly from its nostrils. "Please," it croaked, voice raw. "I smell food." Marla blinked. "You're a talking dragon." "I'm a hungry dragon," it rasped. She could have screamed, "Run!" grabbed the kitchen cleaver. But she didn't. Instead, she opened the door wider. "Then you're in luck. I've got leftover stew and fresh bread." The dragon blinked. By the time the night was done, it had devoured 3 pots of stew, 2 loaves of cornbread, and an entire bucket of garlic butter beans. It curled up near the fire pit, steam rising gently from its back, and fell asleep with a full belly and a tear in its eye. Marla woke to the sound of marching. She stepped outside and nearly dropped her kettle. The hills were covered in soldiers. Not enemies, not invaders, but heavily armored troops, all facing her shack. Silent, eyes forward, uniforms gleaming under the morning sun. At their head stood the dragon, now fully healed, taller, more majestic, scales clean and smoking. And standing beside it were generals. "What in heaven's name?" she gasped. The dragon stepped forward. "You fed me with kindness and without fear, Marla of Dustmere. You did not ask who I was, but I shall tell you." He lifted his head. His voice thundered. "I am Vorthanak, last flame of the eastern skies, exiled king of the Crimson Legion, hunted, wounded, betrayed. I came to your door in disgrace. You fed me." Marla was too stunned to speak. He gestured behind him. "I summon what remains of my legion. These soldiers serve me still. They have eaten nothing but dust for months. They march without hope. Until now." He bowed to her. "We ask only this. Feed us, warm us, and we shall build you a kingdom." Within an hour, her tiny kitchen was overwhelmed. Soldiers stacked crates. Others dug fire pits. Someone brought her 3 whole cows and a mountain of potatoes. Supply ships landed with spices and solar ovens. By noon, Marla was directing 40 cooks. By sunset, the entire valley smelled like pepper stew, grilled meat, and sweet roasted yams. Each soldier who tasted her cooking wept. Not from heat, though the peppers were fierce, but from memory, from feeling human again. And Marla? She stood in the center of it all, apron-stained, hair wild, heart full. She fed dragons and warlords like they were her boys from Dustmere, and they followed her orders like she was a general. That night, a general knelt beside her campfire. "You are more than a cook," he said quietly. "Your hope?" Marla chuckled. "I'm just a woman with a pot and a handful of spice." But Vorthanak shook his head. "You made a dragon remember his name. You brought an army to its feet with broth and bread. You're more than a cook." He gestured toward the valley, now lit with thousands of campfires. "Tomorrow, the world will know your name. Marla of the Firepot,